Uh, so I'm going to break the mold a little here and write a couple of API tests along with my UI tests. So let's go back to the same Parabank application. Um, so as soon as you log in, go to the admin page, and you can actually see that you can enable the APIs here. So you have REST XML, REST JSON, SOAP, and JDBC if you want to connect to the database directly. I've selected REST JSON, and then I've saved it already. To look at the API documentation, I can actually click on Swagger and then look at the documentation. So let's try two things. One is there is a login API, which you can see here, which takes a couple of variables in its path. One is the username and the password. The other is the customer API, where we need to actually get the customer data, so we can see just like customers. Yeah. Well, I need to pass on the customer ID. So let's run these two using the API testing option that is available in Playwright, and then see how that works. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, let's create a folder called API. Login and get customer details of the yes. So this is our first test. So I need to import the same test and expect as we did earlier. I'm also going to read the credentials. Read credentials from Toml is something that we saw in the other chapter where um, we read it from a Toml file. Just that there's a small change. The username is changed, so I'm just going to change it and save it. Run this update on this side. All right. Now let me run the test. Login and fetch customer details. That is in function. This where I need to use request. And let's set the API base URL, which is yeah, which is parabank slash services slash bank actually. So let me just copy paste it. Yeah, the bindings are many, but to be on the safer side, I'll just change it to the IP-based localhost binding. And this is the URL. So now I need to get the username and password and pass it on to the login, right? So password, read extensions from URL. So I need to make a request and get a response. So let me use this accent character, and API base URL is what I need to start with. Login slash, and I need to pass the username slash password and password. So yeah. Yeah, I'll close this and I need the response in JSON format. So let me add a header, accept application slash JSON. Right. So uh, that's really how I want get the details from the login. Right now, once I get the details from login, I need to also validate it. I need to make sure that uh, this works exactly fine, right? So let me use expect and then will be flip pages. Yeah, I need to make sure that I get a OK response, which is basically successful right when I hit this API. And I will also take this login data, which is in the JSON format, and pass it on to this, sorry, pass it on to login data from login response. Why am I going to do that? Because it gives out customer ID. So yeah, let me just show this on screen once, just so we know that it works. So I can use this option, try it out. It's an example. Select application JSON and execute it. So you can see I get the ID. So I need to just pass this ID on to customer ID and then it will give out the details, which is under customer slash customer ID. So that's really what we are going to do here. It's the same set of URLs. Oh, okay. Just copy it over here. Start with the get accent and accent graph. Then pass on the customers and then the customer ID just from the ID. Use the accent. Now that I'm I like the labels, I hope it's customers. This seems to be on it. No, I guess I'm here. Fixed it. Yeah, let's also get the headers. I can just copy paste this instead. Yeah, let's get the headers in JSON format. And quick validation that the, the response, yeah, to be okay. Yeah, I get what was wrong. I was still inside the function file, which shouldn't be the case. So I have customer response to be quickly. That was a spelling mistake. Now, customer data. So basically, customer data is another variable that I'm going to store this customer responses JSON. And yeah, let's just run this just to check whether I got the customer data here. All right. So all that we did was to log in, get the customer ID, and then pass it on to the customer API and print the response. Just a very simple test. Let's try running this. Let's just now is the login and slash details. There you go. So yeah, let's end up picking up the ID from the previous API login and then printed the customer details.